Hi, I'm Christine Venus and I'm your astrologer. So today we're going to be discussing the weekly astrology and what is going to be going on in the skies and how it will affect our life. So we're coming off a pretty huge week with the full moon in Leo. The full moon is all about illuminating something. Full moons are for releasing, letting go, completion, culmination point. Now we have that energy will continue on over the next 2 weeks as we lead up to the new moon coming up in Virgo. And that energy will also help us to release and let go over the next 6 months as well, as that energy builds up for the next new moon in that Pisces. So we go from a full moon, 6 months later we have a new moon in that same sign. So there's those periods that energy can be used in between for those themes. So we have now over the next 2 weeks, the moon is decreasing in size. So the moon will be moving towards a new moon next. So this is a release time. So as the moon is building, the energy is building. As the moon is decreasing in size, we're decreasing in energy, so we can feel more tired. It's a time to go within more internal, not so much more go energy and whatnot. So the theme at the moment is Pisces, so that is very much in tune with that Pisces energy. So I just want to mention today we've had this amazing yod. Yod is a finger of God, so it's pointing towards something. It's pointing towards the Libra Moon today, which is relationships. It's harmony, peace. It's perspective. It's seeing different sides of the scales. It's socializing. It's people pleasing energy as well. It's indecisiveness and it's analytical thinking. So. And where the decisiveness comes from with a Libra sign too is the scales. Like you can see both sides of things, so it makes it hard to make a decision because you can see the good and bad and everything, and it's weighing it out constantly. And they can be fence sitters because of that. Well, that energy can be. So okay, so we have with that yod too. So the yod is pointing towards that, and then we have the two sort of the fingers that are pointing, I guess, or the hand. What's supporting that? So we've got Neptune and Uranus activating our dreams, compassion, excitement, change. Uranus always brings change. Neptune is healing. So with those Libra themes, those relationships, all those things we just spoke about, our imagination, manifestation to the higher realms as well. So we have a very watery few weeks now with Pisces energy around. So the sun has just moved into Pisces for the next month. Make sure you check out last week's video for more detail or the little short I did on it. But Pisces is all about, it's the 12th house energy in a sense, so it's all about retreat and going within. So it's very much a big part of the energy and themes at the moment. So we'll also have Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, luck, abundance, opportunities, learning, meeting with Neptune, so conjuncting with Neptune, the planet of our dreams, our intuition, our spirituality, illusion, deception, the higher realms, creativity, healing, imagination. So those two coming together. They're both in their home sign of Pisces as well, so it's such a beautiful energy. So the sun is going to be there, then the sun's going to meet Neptune, it's going to meet with Jupiter. We're going to have some really amazing, beautiful, expansive energy over this month. So they're in their home signs too, so where they can express themselves the most, so we can have the most expansion and abundance, and then we can have such strong intuition and dreamy energy coming through as well, with those two, and they can be their most authentic selves and most vulnerable as well. The Pisces energy is all about healing, so we can reach those higher states of consciousness. It's the last sign of the zodiac, so it's all about us, the call for us to go within, reflect and come to some kind of completion or ending point about something. It can be from bad behaviors, self-sabotaging behaviors. It can be actual endings of things or whatever. So it's a time of releasing and letting go of what's no longer serving us, what's no longer in alignment with us, no longer on the same path as us, what we've, got all the growth we can out of something or a situation. Um, it's a time about surrendering and giving over our worries to God, the universe, our angels, our ancestors, and believing in divine timing and that there's a higher evolutionary purpose for everything. Um, as we raise our frequency on the planet, as we raise our frequency, sorry, the frequency on the planet raises, and we no longer connect with certain types of people, situations, environments, things, or whatever, things that become outdated, karmic ties and karmic situations, things that we've fulfilled, and we need to move on from. We need to end the suffering or heal through the experience, and part of that healing is the ending and moving on. Then we open up, whenever we end something and release and let go, it opens up the energy for something new and more in alignment to come in, basically. We can really feel into people's energies, intentions, their emotions and their feelings with Pisces energy, because it's very intuitive, and it's that sixth sense or that higher self, the God, the universe, and we're tapping into that energy, and it's where we can get answers too. So Pisces is all about nurturing and compassion towards ourselves and others. And that's the important thing, is remembering to be gentle with ourselves and sensitive and compassionate towards ourselves and not just others, and not just, it's a time where we can also neglect our own needs because we're worried about and putting too much compassion and empathy towards others as well. It's the time where we need to put more effort into our spiritual practices as well. Meditation, yoga, just sleeping, resting, naps. Our art and creativity, that's a way for you to escape, that's healthy, and for you to have that calm energy, and get more in touch with your inner self. Whatever those things are, could be walking in nature, those things that help you to regenerate. It's super important. And that's where we can find that we're more tired and need more naps and sleep and stuff like that during this time. Okay, so on the 22nd and 23rd, we'll have Mars and then Venus. Just remember that we have Mars and Venus have conjuncting at the moment, and they're sort of dancing together through the sky for this next few weeks. But Mars is ahead of Venus, so Mars will meet Neptune first, and then Venus will follow. So it's a great few days for beauty, for beautiful energy, for putting our actions into our dreams, some action into our dreams, into our imagination, creativity, art, things that are of beauty, that make us feel good, things that are pleasurable as well. Spiritual and healing practices is something that we can focus a lot of time and energy into, as I said before, meditation, yoga, religion. We'll have more drive towards those things, and the sun there too. Sun is our vitality, so we're putting it into that, so we can have more vitality to sleep. So something like that, But again, it's very much about connecting and going within and focusing on the self. Mars will conjunct Neptune and move ahead until they meet on the 2nd and 3rd, when they conjunct again with Pluto. So make sure you watch my Venus and Mars conjunction video. They conjunct 3 times. It's super powerful. It's fated. It's divine partnerships, relationships, projects coming in for us. So make sure you watch that video, because it's super a super transformational time. It's healing. Things are going to have to be destroyed to build something new. We always get that with Pluto energy. It's it's destruction and rebuilding of the masculine and feminine energies on the planet, for our higher consciousness, for the evolution of the planet. And it's the Pluto part is the release and the letting go, the destruction, the transformation, so that when these two meet, the next point at the 0 degrees of Aquarius, which is the grand or great conjunction point of Jupiter and Saturn back in December 2020, and that didn't happen for 800 years, those two in that same sign, And then it's been like 200 years since they've been in the same element in that air signs as well, together like that, conjuncting. So it's, yeah, super powerful. And that was a super powerful time for us. It was a super powerful time for the next 20 years for us, for what we're building and creating and working on. So I have a video on that. Watch back to that video too. I'll link it as well, because that is super powerful. It's 20 years. So if you want to know what's happening for you over the next 20 years, like the main theme, that's the Saturnian theme for you, what you're building, watch that video. So yeah, the two lovers are conjuncting at this point on the 7th, I think it is. Watch that, as I said, watch the video, but the 7th of March. There's just so much going on at the moment, so many things happening. And yeah, the divine lovers, the two lovers conjuncting there together, which is, you know, we're going to be able to build something from that that's really powerful and prosperous and rewarding, and something that is going to be able to, you know, create some kind of long-term commitment for us, basically. So men or masculine energy within ourselves, when this Neptune and Mars conjunct, can feel more compassionate and a sense of healing for that energy. That angry or selfish energy within ourselves, those tendencies, the more energy to be more assertive and stuff like that, can be softened. So it's really good for healing any of that too. Any kind of like bickering or fights or arguments that have been had as well can be healed. We can sort of, you know, feel more compassion about it, or empathy towards someone else. Our intuition can also be heightened. We can feel more sensitive, sensual, and feeling that we need to connect to someone or something on a deep soul level. It's a merging of the masculine and feminine energies with, as I said before, a divine consciousness. This energy can be romantic, pleasurable, passionate, healing, just can make you feel good. You know, Venus is all about feeling good, and that Pisces energy is very much wants to escape and feel good. So yeah, those two together can be a healthy escape, or could be an unhealthy escape too. Okay, so Neptune is also the higher octave of Venus. We have to remember this too, which is super powerful. The goddess of love, and you know, that can represent soulmates as well, especially when we have the Sun is going to meet Neptune, that soulmate energy, on the 12th of March. So it's like all this Venus and Mars stuff happening and everything that's going on, and then this soulmate energy comes in. So it's like, what are you releasing and letting go of for something amazing to come through? And it could be a person, a project, a business partner. It could be any of those things in your life. Okay. But yeah, there's so much faded energy around for love at the moment, and this is a really powerful and faded time in general, because we have all the planets direct, and we still have, I think Mercury's still got to finish its shadow, should be shortly, and then we have Venus, who will finish her shadow on the 7th of March, and then yeah, all the planets are direct, everything's out of shadow. It's like really rare, powerful time to like take action. We can like see so much change happen and so many things happen in such a short time, because of like so much powerful energy at the moment. It's one of those times where you can just, we'll look back and be like, wow. Later in the week, Mercury will sextile Chiron, which will provide some support, some feel-good energy around being vulnerable and opening up about our wounds, our fears of rejection, and being open to healing conversations that can be had, basically. Mercury will also square Uranus at the end of the week. So Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So, you know, Mercury is our thinking mind, thought process, our conversations, short distance travel, it's technology, electronics, any of those sorts of things. Uranus energy is rebellious. It brings change. It shakes and stirs things up. It's shocking. It helps us to activate and to raise our frequency as well. So this is helping us to be activated in some way. And it's the square with this energy. energy of these two is where we can have those unexpected conversations, information being shared that is shocking, or conversations and realizations about things. But the square makes it feel more restrictive, conflicting, more difficult in some way, but it will lead to change around our values. Okay. Sorry, around our values. Sorry, because we're talking about this Capricorn energy too. So, sorry, Aquarius. We're talking about the Aquarius energy, and we're talking about that Taurus energy. So that yeah, that square there. So it will lead to change around our values, our skills and abilities, our finances, our income, our possessions, and the bigger picture around our higher aspirations. What other people's expectations of us outside, influences from social groups, from communities, from society, what society expects of us. We can rebel against what other people want to manifest for us or want for us, and choose what we want to manifest in life. It's where we can you know, again, you know, it's like pivotal energy where we can pivot in some way. So the same day, the moon will square Neptune, which is very intense, and we can feel very sensitive. We can feel restricted by our emotions, from deceiving ourselves, from not seeing things clearly, from seeing things with rose-colored glasses, whatever, and also from, you know, from escapism, you know, and self-sabotaging things and stuff like that as well. So we need to again be compassionate with ourselves, show up for ourselves, and heal ourselves and work on ourselves before we can, you know, move forward into and build new things. We've really got to work on this healing side of things. Make sure you follow me on Instagram if you're not, because you know, the moon is changing signs every 2.5 days, so it's quite a fast changing transit, but the moon governs our emotions so much because, you know, the moon controls the waves and the tides and everything, and water. And, you know, we're 70 or 80% water, so it is very big in emotions are, as the water and energy moving through our body, basically. So it's very important that we, not important, sorry, but it can be really powerful, empowering to follow the moon and the moon cycle, especially for women, but definitely for any. We will have that masculine energy and feminine energy within us, but yeah, really powerful to follow the moon cycles, because every 2.5 days the moon is changing signs, so our emotions and feelings and the reactions and things like that are changing. The sort of lunar energy on the earth is changing, so it does affect us. So yeah, it's hard on a weekly chat to go through like every single thing the moon's doing, because it's going around the whole chart in that short time, and so many different things happen, you know, every 2.5 days. So much can happen as it moves around the chart and hits each planet and sign as it goes around for that full cycle, so for that full 28-day cycle. So now so yeah, follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, so that you can keep up with the moon. And then obviously I put on what's going on with the planets and these things I'm talking about now as they're happening. So, you know, it's hard, you know, when you listen to it all at the start of the week, and then later in the week things happen, and, you know, you have to try and remember what's going on. So, okay. Now it's super important for us during this time to stay grounded, hydrated, meditate, sleep, do whatever you need to, earth, go in nature, and connect to yourself, and try and tune in and listen to the answers from within. The answers are always within ourselves if we can, you know, can listen to our intuition, our higher self, and, you know, we need to communicate through that intuition with other people as well, not be communicating just through the head, but through our senses as well. And that way we're really, you know, saying and speaking from how, you know, from our mind, body and soul, and what's really in alignment for us. So this is a big few weeks. So retreating, being gentle, sensitive. I've said these things over and over, but it is really high priority right now. But also making sure we don't disconnect so much and retreat so far and escape so far that we fully disconnect. And then that's when we go into those self-sabotaging behaviors and other things like that. So, It's important not to go there, not to deceive ourselves or trick ourselves and miss out on opportunities of our dreams coming into reality, because we just get so stuck there with that self-sabotaging behavior and not healing ourselves either. Yeah, so we can get too caught up in our heads, in the past, in our limiting beliefs, and not following our true calling, what our heart wants. That, full moon in Leo is all about illuminating the heart and what we love and what makes us happy. That is super important. We won't have, it's such a faded and destined time. We won't have this kind of energy around again for a long time, because even in this lifetime, because none of these planets are going to be in Capricorn again. Like, we're almost at that finishing point. We need to take advantage and show up in true Capricorn style, like commit, put in the hard work, show up, take responsibility, and build something before there's no more of that energy, because that grand conjunction was it. Like, it was like triggering that energy for us back in December 2020, so that we could like build our lives basically. So there's only Venus and Mars and Pluto left there, and we know that Venus and Mars and Pluto are going to conjunct, and then they're going to meet. Venus and Mars are going to move on and meet in Aquarius together at that 0 degrees, and that's like that final point almost, in a way. Like, there's not the end of it, everything always, but it's like that really final point, that really powerful energy for building, for legacy, for your goals, your ambitions, all of that stuff. Just don't miss out on this energy. So crazy times ahead, as there has been for the last 2 years anyway, as we know. So stay safe, take care. I'll always follow your heart, and remember to breathe. That's the big Neptune Pisces thing, is about breathing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And if you need some, support with the Venus Mars relationship stuff, I do have an EFT tapping video, emotional freedom technique, if you haven't done that before. It's all about tapping on our meridian points for releasing blocked up emotional energy and clearing old deep core beliefs, so that we can move forward and attract what we want into our lives. So thank you for listening and being here with me today. I hope you have a great week. It's beautiful Pisces energy, about make the most of it and be kind to yourself. Take care. Bye.